Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nauval Hanif. My NPM is 21570510008, and I'm from Class B, Computer Science. And I will present about my PowerPoint about coconut. Take first definition. The fruit of the coconut palm, consisting of a thick, fibrous brown oval husk under which there is a thin shell enclosing a layer of edible white meat. The hollow center is filled with a sweet, milky fluid called coconut milk. Coconut edible fruit of the coconut palm, as a Casas nucifera, a tree of the palm family, Arisae. Coconuts probably originate somewhere in Indo or Malaysia and are one of the most important crops of the tropics. Coconut flesh is high in fat and can be dried or eaten fresh or processed into coconut milk or coconut oil. The liquid of the nut, known as coconut water, is used in beverage. Next, physical description. A single coconut palm may yield 100 coconuts annually, and each fruit requires a year to fully ripen. Mature coconuts of it are ellipsoid in shape, 300 and 450 millimeter, and 12 and 18 inches in length, and 150 and 200 millimeters, 8 inches in diameter, have a thick fibrous husk surrounding the familiar single seed nut of commerce. A hard shell encloses the insignificant embryo with its abundant endosperm, composite of both meat and liquid. Coconut fruits float readily and have been disappeared widely by ocean currents and by humans throughout the tropics. Use. Besides the edible kernels and the drink obtained from green nuts, the harvested coconut also yields copra, the dried extracted kernel or made from which coconut oil, a major vegetable oil, is expressed. The Philippines and Indonesia lead in copra production, and throughout the South Pacific, copra is one of the most important export products. The meat may also be grated and mixed with water to make coconut milk, which is used in cooking and as a substitute for cow's milk. The dry husk yields fiber highly resistant to salt water and used in the manufacture of ropes, mats, baskets, brush, and brooms. The fruit. Botanically, a coconut is a simple dry nut known as a fibrous drug. The husk of mescarp is composed of fibers called coir, and there is a inner stone. The heart and the carp of the stone. The outside of the coconut, as sold in the shops of non-tropical countries, has their germination pores or stoma that directly visible on the outside surface once the husk is removed. It is through one of this that the radicle emerges when the embryo germinates, and then adhering to the inside wall of the endocarp is the testa with a thick albuminous endosperm. The meaning about the coconut meat. The white and fleshy edible part of the seed. And although coconut meat contains less fat than the other dry nuts such as peanuts and almonds, it is known for its high amount of saturated fat. Meaning about nutrition data 207, and approximately 19% of the fat found in coconut meat is saturated, proportion exceeding that of foods such as lard, butter, and tallow. However, there's been some debate as to whether or not the saturated fat in coconuts is healthier than the saturated fat found in the other food. Coconut meat also contains less sugar and more protein than popular fruits such as bananas, apples, and orange, and it is relatively high in minerals such as iron, phosphorus, and zinc. The endosperms surround a hollow interior space filled with air and often liquid, referred to as coconut water, not to be confused with coconut milk. Coconut milk, called santan in Indonesia and in Malaysia, is made by growing in the endosperm and mixing it with warm water. The resulting thick liquid is used in much Asian cooking, such as curries. Coconut water from the unpried coconut, on the other hand, is drunk fresh as refreshing drink. Young coconut used for coconut water are called tender coconuts. The water of a tender coconut is a liquid endosperm. It is sweet, like milk, with aerative feel when cut fresh. Depending on the size, tender coconut could contain the liquid in the range of 300 to 1000 milliliters. It is known in Tamil or Malayalam or Kannada as Eleanor. And harvesting fresh coconut for drinking should be young and green, and are generally still attached to the tree, while tree are various preferences for the taste of coconut water. Generally, a green coconut with some egg spice considered to taste good. Coconut from various parts of the world also differ in taste. For example, Indian coconuts tend to be salty, and Brazilian coconut have a sweeter water and flesh. Once the young coconut has been safely removed from the tree, cutting it down with a knife so it is flat, and then sentencing on a center hole works well to access the juice. In young coconuts, the juice may actually be under some pressure and will spread likely when the inner husk is first penetrated despite high heat and sandy soil. Coconuts can have a significant amount of liquids inside. If a green coconut has fallen to the ground, it is important to check that insects or rats have not eaten by root the coconut, as evidenced by an obvious hole or a less obvious but significant dark brown rotted area, which makes the water inside taste bitter. And the last page, medicinal properties. The monolurins in the coconut oil have been found to be very powerful antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal agents. Some people believe that coconut milk can be used as a laxative IACM in 1998. Thank you. Sorry, my English so bad, so I am so sorry for you guys. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.